first thing we're going to do to find somebody to go with is we're going to change our language and our attitudes about it. We're going to be hopeful and expecting it. We're going to say that. We're going to be hopeful and expecting that we're finding somebody to go with.
Yeah.
That's a number one. That's the first thing to do. Before you put on the hat, before you put on the t-shirt.
Welcome everyone to the Wisdom in Bloom podcast. I am Denise with my beautiful co-host Kamisha, and we have a very, very special session and chat with two wonderful young ladies tonight that we will be talking about all things Black people, 50 over, singles, all the things relationships tonight, and we are so excited. So very excited to have them here. And Kamisha, I'm going to turn it over to you. Please introduce our guests.
Well, we have with us today the co-founders of Mahogany Mates. And Mahogany Mates is a small business created to celebrate and connect Black adults over 50 who are looking for meaningful relationships and community. So first we have Ms. Kim Dickerson, who is one of the co-founders. She also works as an analyst where she's developed skills in research and problem solving and strategy that she applies to help build Mahogany Mates into a trusted space for authentic connection. And the other co-founder is Denise Kegler, and she is also the founder and principal of MDK Brand Management. She's considered a serial entrepreneur based on having two businesses and being actively involved in both. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today. We are so happy to have you and cannot wait to dig into this conversation about Mahogany Mates and the great work that you are doing out here for the singles, for the Black 50 and over singles, because we need help. It seems that we need some help out here. And this sounds like one of the solutions that is needed out here in the community for our Black singles over 50. So thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to remind you, Kim and I are in that group too. So we feel it. We get it. We experience all the frustrations, everything related to being a Black single over 50.
So it's so exciting to have this conversation. As you know, both me and Kamisha are married. We've been married a long time, but we have friends who are single, both male and female. And we hear the craziest stories about 50 over. Like over 50 men playing some of the most childish games, doing some of the most craziest things, women doing it. It's like, sometimes I listen to the stories, Denise, and I'm like you guys, you're exaggerating.
Denise always said, "You're too old. These people are too old to be out here acting like this."
Yes.
So the number when it comes to dating.
It's crazy. So give me the vision. What was the vision behind Mahogany Mates? What was that vision, and did it come to both of you, or was it something that you guys looked at each other and said, we need to do something?
You know what? I had the vision based on conversations that and incidents that kept occurring in my life. Like I'd be out and I'd see somebody. Oh, is he looking at me? Oh, I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. That goes on, and then the next thing you know, the moment's passed. He's gone. I'm gone. No one said anything. So it was just really a way to capitalize on those moments. Then you spend 2 days wondering, should I have said something to that guy? When his wife had came around the corner, his girlfriend had came, his boyfriend had came. I mean, like, you just don't know. So me and Denise are basically new friends. We only really known each other like a year or so. And
wow.
Yeah, and this happened really fast. We were at a mutual friend's house, and we were just kind of sitting there, and Denise came in, within 5 minutes, she's like, what, I really want to meet somebody, and I just found that refreshing, because most people aren't really honest about their desire to be in a relationship. It's gone bad so long that they're now, placating themselves and playing it safe by just saying, oh, whatever happens, happens. So the fact that she just was honest and just said that, just, point blank, flat footed, I just like, wow.
Yeah.
And, after that, a couple of days later, we got together again at this larger friend group. And, of course, the conversation always turns to that. And
of course,
the group are married.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just saying, I just said to her, you know what? I have an idea and we're going to do it. And I said, are you in? And we were just on the street walking back to her place just from having dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, are you in? And she said, I'm in. And we just started working.
Wow.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Kim, you were saying something about how it's the moment passed. You see him, he saw you, neither one said anything, and then the moment passed. And then you just kind of go back and you're thinking about it, you're reminiscing about it, but then you have relegated yourself to just a life of not having relationships. We get several comments all the time from women and men who are like, I'm just not going to be with no one. This is not in the cards for me.
Yeah, especially women.
Yes. And and they have set their self up for their forever remaining of their life to be single.
Right.
Like their mindset is there saying that there's nobody there for me. I'm never going to meet anyone. I'm going to be alone. So I got to figure out how to be okay with this new normal of just being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always wonder if it's real or if it's what people are saying because they're just tired of all of the nonsense. It is refreshing when you have someone who says, no, I am really interested in putting myself out there. I really do want someone. I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to like throw in the towel. I'm still young. I'm still vibrant. There's still a lot of time here for me. And so was that one of the other reasons you ladies thought this might be a good idea? Because, even though we are over 50, like there's still a lot more life to live.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a lot more of us to give. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves or be reminded of that by someone else, which is kind of what the conversation that Kim and I had did for me and for her. Because to answer your earlier question, I do think, I think it is a matter of just frustration. Because even though we're saying it, Kamisha, kind of what you were saying, even though we say it, I'm not sure we actually really believe it. Probably just don't know where else to go. So that's why Kim and I really know, not believe, we really know that we've got something here because we're going to fill that void, fill that gap, and be the answer to people, to Black singles over 50 who do say they've given up. Because I don't think that they really give up. I think they just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Don't believe that the answer, the resources, or the community is there. What Kim and I are doing is building this vibrant, soulful, positive, and Kim will talk about that because we're all about this isn't about male bashing, men bashing. It's not that. It's not that. It's all uplifting and positive in a community for Black singles to feel that they can come to and find someone who's looking for them. So find somebody to go with. That's our tagline. Find somebody to go with.
When we first read that, we were like, this is definitely a Gen X line. You know what I mean? Because all of growing up, who you going with? Who you go with?
It's
baby boomers and Gen both. I'm a boomer. Kim
I missed a boomer by 1 year. Yeah.
And the first thing we're going to do to find somebody to go with is we're going to change our language and our attitudes about it. We're going to be hopeful and expecting it. We're going to say that. We're going to be hopeful and expecting that we're finding somebody to go with.
Yeah.
That's a number one. That's the first thing to do. Before you put on the hat, before you put on the t-shirt, because that's how it works. I don't know if you guys know how it works, basically.
Yeah, we've been researching it.
But tell us more about Mahogany Mates and how it works and how people can become a part of this community.
And I love that you said it's a social experience because technology is killing relationships right now. So I love that. But go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
I mean, because the first thing we said to ourselves was, why are we following the children? We know how to do this.
Yeah.
If we invented it, but we sure made it better. So we are not going to follow them on these apps. We're taking it back. We're rolling it back. We're bringing Mackin back. We took
Courting,
Mac, all of it, because we wanted to have that spark when you're out, and like you say, you see somebody, you can't replicate that through an app or on a picture. You can't see that, in someone's eyes through swiping on their pictures. You know what I mean? So basically, we want to engage people by saying, buy the gear, you go out, you live your life, you're at the bank, you're at a sporting event. Our website also has a happening page where where you're likely to find Black focused events throughout the country. You can get your gear and you can go there and you can wear it. And if you see someone, it's an icebreaker and an invitation and an introduction all at once. You see someone else in Mahogany Mates, you're like, oh, hi. You know right away, hey, I am open. We're not saying it's a slam dunk, but we are saying that it is okay to say a respectful hi. You can be confident in knowing that person is not going to reject you because they're part of our community. So even if someone, speaks to you that you're like, oh, that's not my cup of tea, but it's still, you're part of the community. You're going to get a confident and a respectful hi, So that's basically what we're doing. And Denise can tell you about a lot of the other products that we have to offer. But that's kind of the main thing that we want people to just kind of get used to, being out in the gear and letting people know, what they're about and what they're looking for.
Yeah, it's definitely a differentiator in the market. There is no one else doing anything like this. So we do use our apparel, our accessories as visual cues, so that when you see someone wearing our product, they've already signaled, or they're signaling to you or to anyone in that environment that they're single, they're available, and they're looking for companionship. They're looking to find someone. And so we answer those questions. But we say very clearly on our website, we don't conduct background checks. This is all the honesty, whatever you call it, factor, or whatever that phrase is based on people. And we have it on our website.
Honor system.
Honor system. Yeah, the honor system. We have it on our website as a disclaimer. We ask anyone who's buying and wearing Mahogany Mates gear that they are single, that they are looking, that they are available. Kim and I were laughing the other night. We were working, and we said one of the benefits of doing this. So you might have had something like this happen. We certainly have, where you go to a bar or any kind of social environment, and you see someone good looking, in our case, a good looking guy. You want to walk up to them. Maybe you do, because they're alone. So you think. Turns out the girlfriend's actually in the bathroom getting fresh up. And she walks out, and now, there might be some trouble happening, because she might see you hitting on her guy, but you didn't know that she was in the ladies' room.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So things like that happen. Our gear, our Mahogany, if you wear the gear, you're saying there's no concern about that then, because you're like, oh, okay, they have a hat, they have they have a shirt, they're carrying a bag, whatever product, that means that, they're saying that they're single and then they're ready.
I really think this is an interesting approach for a couple reasons. One is, you have people who are introverts, right? And so they may not feel comfortable going up to someone, even over 50, right? Just because you're over 50 doesn't mean you're not still, an introvert or a shy person. You may not feel comfortable going up directly to someone if they are not sure their situation, based, as there's different stories about people being honest and not being honest.
Right.
And you have, the Mahogany Mate shirt or like hat or whatever apparel that kind of signals, I am open and I am, interested.
Yes.
And then, yeah. So I really like that idea for people who are introverts. And then also people who are our age who might be getting back out in the dating world.
Yes.
Right? Maybe they are divorced, or maybe they were in a long-term relationship, or maybe, their spouse is deceased and they're not really sure how to even go about, introducing, making the first move or what have you. That is a nice way to be able to look and say, okay, that person is open and, I feel okay. Or even, as you say, you have your own community. Maybe they can meet them inside the community where they feel there's a safe space there and they're not going to be taken advantage of, So I think this is a really interesting approach, especially for people, who are maybe introverts or are, older like us, kind of putting themselves out there again.
Well, that's Denise and I. We both had long-term marriages, and now we're divorced, and now we're back out there. So that's basically our story.
Well,
how long were you married, Denise and Kim? How long were you married?
Girl, I did a bid.
A bid.
It was over 20. It was over 20, but yeah. So.
And then I was married for almost 30 years before we divorced, and then when I met Kim, what was interesting and the reason I was so open and ready, because I just ended in an explosively bad way a 7-year relationship, and I just had such a bad taste in my mouth, and I just. You guys, maybe we could relate or have friends or people watching this could relate to that. It was so bad. I just needed to get into something else that could make me feel better and make me feel like I still had something to offer.
Yeah.
I tell Denise, the funny thing is, like, Denise got divorced and met somebody like 4 months later and then had a 7-year relationship. I got divorced. I've been single 7 years without any relationship. So I'm like, and she comes in talking about, I miss somebody. Well, girl, how long you been single? 4 months. I'm like, what? You have no idea the hurt that's awaiting you. So that was funny.
Like, you're not thirsty enough. No, you're not thirsty.
What is happening? I have no idea. This is not the normal. That's not the normal routine for a divorce.
Yeah.
No.
So Denise, how did you meet in those 4 months? How did you meet the gentleman that you were with for 7 years? What was that process? Was it by accident? Did you put yourself out there? Did you have a social experience? Like, how did you meet that person?
So when he was married, I was married. He's actually the cousin of a former friend of mine, and we knew of each other for like 20 years. We'd be at the same house. And then when I got divorced and then he broke up with his wife, I happened to be at my former friend's house and he walked in and I was like, what's your cousin? What do you mean? I said, well, what's up with your cousin? Like, and I was like, give her my phone number. Will you give me my phone? So I took the first step. And that's the thing in what you guys are saying about Mahogany Mates, because it does give the power to person to do that without the fear of rejection.
Yeah, because if you, especially if you both kind of wearing the merch and you kind of understand what mahogany is, you already know that you're open to the conversation. You know what I mean? You already know. I mean, something could happen, something may not happen, but you know already that we're open to the conversation.
Right. That it could have, because I took a chance taking the first step, but I didn't know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
So we're removing in a big way that fear of rejection. As Kim said, it's not a slam dunk. We're not saying that you're going to find your boo by Mahogany Mates, but we're removing one of those key barriers to that companionship process.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of the events and community events or ways that you're trying to build community in Mahogany Mates.
Especially the Midnight Mingler. I'm really interested in that. What is that?
She heard midnight, like she gonna be up at midnight, but she
I know,
wants
right?
to know about it.
No,
Kamisha.
we want people to be up, and I'll let Kim talk about the other ones. I'll start with Mahogany with Midnight Mingle. So it's Midnight Mingle. It's exclusive to Mingler members. So if you go on the website, we have two options to join as a Mingler member. One is $80, which is an annual membership, or $7.99 a month. What I want to do, actually, Kim and I wanted to give a 20% off discount coupon during this but so once you become a Mingler, you have access to Midnight Mingle. And there are a couple other exclusive features and benefits that Kim can talk about. But the Midnight Mingle is audio only, it's interactive. So we want to be a safe space for folks who are up late. There are a lot of people who are up very late, and it's going to be Friday, between Friday and Saturday. So Friday midnight, Saturday morning, Friday night. And we're going to be on, Kim and I, and we'll make it interactive and folks can get on. We can talk, answer questions, talk about, hey, what's going on? What are you seeing? What are you doing? What are you experiencing? How can we help? But it'll be, late night mingle.
Conversation, yeah.
Late night conversation, yeah. And if there's something topical in the news that people want to talk about, we'll do that too. We just want, it's another platform for us to be there, for us to build this community that people can come to and feel like they're part of, other like-minded Black people.
Right.
I like that. I would have to take a nap earlier that day so I can be up. But
right.
but what's funny is I'm not a big sleeper. I fall asleep probably around 11, and then at 2:00, 2:30, I'm up. Like I've been up today since 2:45 this morning. I don't know. I don't sleep, and as soon as I got into menopause, it got worse. So a lot of times when you say midnight mingle, especially over 50, we're in that situation or that environment of either menopause or perimenopause or postmenopause, where we're not doing a lot of sleeping anyway. Some very great, engaging, relaxed, lighthearted conversation would probably be amazing. And I know one thing. Me and Kamisha did a series on loneliness. Women over 50 who is experiencing loneliness to the point of depression and being suicidal. The numbers are staggering. A midnight mingler conversation would be something that could be introduced as a resource to help boost women and increase the conversation and decrease the loneliness, especially in the midnight hour,
I'll say this and I'll shut up so Kim can talk. But and that part is near and dear to my heart. I wrote a blog on Mahogany Mates website now about my mother who had autism and died a few years ago, and she was lonely. And there is one of the benefits of Mahogany Mates that Kim and I have talked about, and we write about on our website, is that there is, to your point, Denise, there is an issue or a connection, a correlation between loneliness and disease, all emotional, physical, mental impacts, negative impacts on our bodies. And the more we can, whatever role Mahogany Mates can play to take that part out, to get folks who are lonely, help them find companionship so they can not be susceptible to some of these awful diseases and issues that are invading far too many of our lives. So yeah, it's part of why we're doing this as well, to combat that loneliness feeling.
I love that. I love that.
All the women I know, most of the women I know, they're just in their houses by themselves, Whole house, just in the hole. I'm in my house right now, So I know these 10 women that live alone. So yeah, that's combating social isolation is definitely a part of this. That's going to be, that we're focused on.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. We when we were doing research study around midlife women with loneliness, we found that some of the foreign countries, and I believe like Amsterdam and some other
And
countries
Japan.
in Japan, they have an epidemic so bad with women over 50 who are lonely that they actually appointed a loneliness ambassador
Wow.
to help try to figure out resources to help these women, because they look at women, especially elderly women, as, you know, not, I don't want to use the word royalty, but with wisdom and respect, and they're trying to figure out how can we extend their lives, how can we reserve what they have, that wisdom. And so they actually appointed loneliness ambassadors,
That's,
and it's an epidemic.
yeah.
Yeah.
We also have our Bigler Spotlight. So if you join and become a member,
Mhm.
we actually, you can give us a picture in your bio and we post that. And then, and it's only visible to the other minglers.
Mhm.
That way we, in a sense, we are matchmaking in a sense. And we do, on our second phase of that, we do want to do more of a matchmaking situation, but it won't be an algorithm. It'll be us
Yeah.
behind the scene. But right now, people can send it, you know, if they join, they can make a bio and send a picture, and they can see the other minglers across the country.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, and then that the minglers have their contact information right there. It's not this app thing where you have to, you know, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Yes.
And stuff. It's just like if you're there, you know, there's their email address or there's their social media. If it's
Mhm.
something that you want to spark up a conversation with, then you know you can feel free to do that. So
Mhm.
So it looks like there's a couple of different layers then to
yeah.
Yeah.
Mahogany Mates. So you have,
Mahogany Talks.
Mahogany.
go ahead. What's this?
We're starting podcast.
Oh, the podcast.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because we want to really just like blanket the community. Like we want you to feel like if you're not into the the podcast, then do something else with us.
Mhm. Mhm.
Get yourself a network. You know, we want to be a network that people can reach out to and find some portion of it that fits into their lifestyle, their life, you know.
And I read that you guys are doing your launch in Martha's Vineyard. Did I read that correct for your Mahogany Talks?
Our product, yeah, Mahogany. Well, on our website and in other places that we talk about it on all of our social platforms, TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are going to be launching our products
Okay.
on Martha's Vineyard on August 30th.
30th.
Mm.
So next weekend. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Well,
So
that's
are you
something-
planning to do more like in-person events, trying to gather people together?
Yeah. We want to do both. We want to mostly want to find events that already exist.
Right.
Mm,
Piggyback, right?
it's
You know,
easy.
their coattails. Find event producers who can see Mahogany Mates as a way to pull in more people who look like us, add a different, exciting vibe to their event that's already going to be great, but we're going to add another element to it. So
Yeah.
that's one priority, is to identify other events. So what we're asking people around the country, and certainly through opportunities like this,
Mhm.
is if they know of an event happening in their city that they believe Mahogany Mates can be an add-on in a very positive way, to let us know the name of the event, and then we'll reach out to the organizers of that event and then see how we can be part of it. That's really how we see events being part of our brand.
I love that. I love the collaboration piece to that. So I really love that. For the challenges, when you guys was putting this together, and I know all of this is new and your friendship is new, but the purpose is 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 amazing. And so I look at it and I say, you know, was there challenges to come up with this platform, to build this platform, to reach out to people, to try and figure out how to bring people together? And knowing that this is different and it's not a dating app. And I'm asking that question too because when we interviewed our two gentlemen, that was something that they did not like, was dating apps. They specifically said that they would love to organically meet someone. You know, they don't at a grocery store, even, they were saying, but not an app. So what challenges have you guys kind of came across as you were putting your vision together?
I don't even know if I would call it challenges. You know, like we just trying to hone it down, just trying to, you know, wrap our arms around it. You know, because first we started out attending events. One of our first events, before we did a whole rebrand,
Mm-hmm.
we were attending events, and we were at a Halloween party where there was like 600 people.
Mm.
Just me and Denise. And we were doing it like on a medallion type thing. You buy the medallion at the event, and then people know that you're single when looking. So we went to this group, and then a horde of people would pass by us, and we'd be like, oh, you know. So we realized really quickly that we're not going to be able to keep up with this, you know. But the interest was there. The interest was there. People, the men were like, okay, give me a medallion. The women were like, give me a medallion. So we were doing that, but it was just, we couldn't, it wasn't manageable and wasn't realistic to try to keep up with and we didn't want to have half the room know about it, the other half of the room didn't know about it, because this thing is going to take off when everybody knows about it, when, you know. And we do believe that the word will spread thanks to, you know, platforms like this, and so our social media, you know, engagement that we're doing. But so that was one of the biggest challenges, just trying to just kind of fine tuning it and getting it to a point where we realize, okay, you make your own event. That's what we tell you. So everybody makes their own event. Make your own event at the grocery store. You don't have to wait for it to be like, you know, boots on the ground and, you know, any of that stuff going on. You could just put it on and go out and expect to meet somebody.
Expectation,
When you change that and have the expectation, it's going to show on your face, and then, you know, you're going to make the eye contact, and you're going to, and it's going to be on and popping. You know? and that's what we want, and that's what we want for everybody. We just want people that want to be loved to have a shot at doing
it.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny Kim mentioned the grocery store, because everywhere we go, we think, okay, how can Mahogany Mates play a role in this? How can we help take advantage of this opportunity? So I was in the grocery store and I text Kim. I said, Kim, we should make a recyclable grocery bag, because everybody's walking around with these bags. So we make a Mahogany Mates bag. They're walking around.
I love that. I love that.
Right away, Kim was like, done. Yep, got it. We have a bag now. We have a bag.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that, because I'm telling you, that was one of the things that Mark and Brian was saying. They said grocery store. They said car wash. Yeah, they were like saying all the organic ways that you can meet someone. They both was like, no, the dating apps, no, not for me, not for me.
We're there. We're not. We each tried dating apps, and it was like, no.
I was on a mom.
No, but I do like what you've been saying, Kim, about the positive, being positive, hopeful, and having the expectation. There is something about it kind of reminds me of putting on something, you know, nice and professional if you have like an important meeting, and now it really makes a difference in how you present yourself and what you're doing. It's the same kind of attitude, I think, when you are wearing something from Mahogany Mates, right? Because you're putting it on, you have this attitude now of expectation, like, okay, I'm wearing my shirt today. I know I'm going to see somebody, you know, and somebody's going to see me, you know what I mean? And maybe even if you don't see anyone who has a shirt on, maybe you still are presenting in a way, or, you know, are smiling now, or looking happier, you know, or more uplifted, where you could possibly even be approached by someone, you know. There is something about that kind of, you know, confidence from putting on the Mahogany Mates apparel, I think, in expectation
Your
that can
mahogany
also
armor.
lead to finding
Yes,
someone.
because Kamisha, you're so right, dead on. Because we're saying find somebody to go with because that's how we used to say it back in the day.
Yeah.
But when we know in our hearts that we are attracting somebody,
Yeah.
Yes.
we know that that's what the real deal is. We are attracting somebody. We're just out there living ourselves fully, expecting and engaging, and you're gonna see it in our eyes and our smile.
Yeah.
And it's gonna they're gonna be beating them off with a stick because we're attracting it. We're pulling it to us. They're not gonna know what happened.
It's manifesting. Absolutely.
And that's exactly
Absolutely.
what's gonna be happening. That's exactly what it is. And I couldn't be more excited about it. And it's just that there's a lot of people, like you see people, they're out and they're about, and then they're home alone.
Yes. Yes. I have friends. I have, like you said, Kim, you said you have 10 friends, female friends, midlife, living by themselves. I too have friends that I talk to and they're at home by themselves, and I try my best to have the conversation with them, to talk with them, to be there for them. But you wonder sometimes, like in the midnight hour, you know what I'm saying? So I totally get it. Totally get it. I have a question. So in the short time that you guys have kicked off Mahogany Mates, have you had any success stories, any networking, from other people who are minglers who have said, hey, we really love this and, we needed this?
Well, Denise, what about your story at the wine fest?
At the wine fest.
Yeah, well, we did a wine fest and we were still trying to do the medallions, and somebody walked up to
me. Oh yeah, I did. This is when we first did our, like as Kim said, we've changed our business model to now have the apparel, because we didn't start off knowing that we were going to make apparel and accessories. We had these, Kim calls them medallions. They were like round stickers with an old logo. We've since rebranded and have the logo we have now, but we didn't have that at first. So we had the stickers, and we were at the wine festival last year, and I'm walking around, I got my sticker on, and this guy goes, "Hey, Mahogany Mate." And I look, and he's got his sticker on.
Oh.
Now he doesn't know I'm the co-founder of Mahogany.
Yeah.
No idea. But he did it exactly like Kim and I wanted to have exactly how we wanted to be. You see someone wearing Mahogany Mates, you got on Mahogany Mates, like, hey, Mahogany Mate, and then boom, you connect.
Right away, instant smiles, instant, all of it. So, all of it.
We want people to, the old school, feel those butterflies in your stomach.
Yes.
That eye contact with someone, not the computer dating thing. No, when you meet someone in person, you make that eye contact, you smile, they smile back at you. We want that, and I think that's where we're headed, to really, we want connections. We want people to find their mutually fulfilling relationships all over the country, So you asked Denise about the challenges, and so Kim talked about, we tried to be at an event, and all of a sudden all these people came in. We're like, we're not keeping up. This isn't going to work. So we went back to the drawing board, like businesses do. You try something, it doesn't work, you go back to the drawing board. That's what we did. And so the apparel came later. We said, you know what, we need to rethink this, and then we started thinking about the apparel and design the apparel. But the biggest challenge, if you will, but a good challenge, is that through programs like this and other opportunities, we need to get people around the country knowing that this exists, to come to our website. The only way this is going to work, the only way we're going to be able to combat loneliness and bring these relationships, or help people find beneficial companionship, is to wear the product. Or we can get out and let people know, come to the website, buy the product. We've got, I don't know how, Kim is a product person. So I'll talk to Kim, we'll get on our calls and we'll have ideas. And Kim is a designer. She's great. You give her an idea, she goes, I'm on it. And then next thing you know, it's on the website and it's available. So we need people to go out and buy the product so they can find their mate.
I love that. I love it. I love it. Tell me about you guys. So we saw you on NBC, the interview you did, and it was amazing. Tell me, how did that happen? What was the journey to that? Or we very excited for you guys for that.
So I was at an event in Boston, and I ran into a friend who works at NBC 10, and I'd been running into him. It was so funny, several times over the last prior couple weeks, and we were laughing that here we are, we could go like weeks without, or months without seeing each other, and all of a sudden so he's on air in NBC 10. And so later on in the night, I was thinking about Mahogany Mates, and I walked up to him, and because he's a meteorologist, so he's not in the news, he's not in the lifestyle, he's a meteorologist, he's the weather guy. So I walked up to him and I said, "Hey," I said, "do you have any connections or any sway with the editorial side?" And he goes, "I might." "About what?" So I told him about Mahogany Mates, and I had with me our business card and this promo card that Kim and I have. We give away wherever we are. So I handed it to him, and I told him. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I love this idea. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to pitch this to our lifestyle show, the Hub today. The Hub today."
Yes.
And, the next day, in fact, I later found out that the woman he pitched it to was actually at that same event. I don't know her.
Yeah.
He went up to her at the event. The next day, Kim and I got an email from her saying that my contact had approached her and how much they love it. And we were on the show, what, Kim, within like that week.
Tuesday,
right.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Y'all can tell, but I'm shy. I'm shy, so
I don't see it. I don't see it.
That's what I told her. That's what I told her, Denise. Thank you.
I see it. No, you're, because you have so much passion, and like you can't hardly get the your brain is moving faster. You can't hardly get the sentence out because you can see the passion and the purpose around this. So I definitely don't see it, the shyness. But let me tell y'all something.
It's not coming out today in the interview, but I think it does come out in Mahogany Mates, right? The whole idea that you can kind of be a shy person, right? And still with this approach meet someone. So it's making me even see how this Mahogany Mates is like you two embody Mahogany Mates, right? This is from you, by you, for people like you. You know what I mean?
And the younger people are like, well, what if, like my girlfriend, she's in her 40s. She's like, well, what about the 40s and something? What are we supposed to like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Start your own thing. Tell us, start your own thing, girl.
Then when I say phase 2, this goes well.
The little Mahoganies. Where are you guys located? What area do you guys primarily see yourself doing? I know you want to take this out globally, but for right now, where do you see yourself networking and collaborating with others in events?
So our plan, we do have a plan to target to go after the top 10 markets. So we have plans around that. So New York is wanted. We're in Boston, so we definitely own Boston, whatever it means. But there's nothing else out here. We don't, and I shouldn't jinx us, but right now there isn't anything like this out there on the market.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I've never
exactly.
seen it.
Right. Thank you for validating. Thank you.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
Yes, thank you for validating. So we based on our research, we don't see it either. So we do believe we can get a foothold, just like a toe. Then Kim and I can go in and do our thing. We just need a way in. We need someone to call and say, "Hey, Mahogany Mates, we've got this contact in this city. Can we can help facilitate an introduction, whether it's a radio station because they do a lot of events, or event, host some major event in a major city, put us in touch with that person, then we'll take it from there." That's all not all we need, but that's the main thing we need is a way in, an introduction into
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
I love it.
This has been amazing. I am very excited about Mahogany Mates.
Me too.
I mean, I just love the idea and the concept of, taking it back to old school, finding somebody to go with, you know what I mean? It works for people who are, not always okay with just throwing themselves out there without
Yeah.
knowing what's going on. You're really signaling. You're also
Hmm.
now attracting someone. You know what I mean?
Expecting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and going out with the expectation. I mean, I think there's just so many great parts of this, as not to mention the community that you're creating. You have your midnight mingle, you have, your various events. I mean, really trying to bring people together so
Yeah.
that they can have conversations, just old
Yeah.
fashioned conversations, just talking to people with,
Yeah.
your voice like you used to
Yeah.
do, not just this texting and crazy pictures and all that kind of nonsense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is amazing, amazing. And thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you want to share about Mahogany Mates as we draw to a close here that you haven't shared, or anything else you want to let our viewers know?
Any more ideas around the business cards?
No, there's no more ideas around those.
Well, we definitely want to look for us at mahoganymates.com, and we are under that same name on all our social media platforms: Mahogany Mates, YouTube,
Mhm.
TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn,
Facebook.
Facebook. Any way
Mhm.
you can handle it, we are at Mahogany Mates. So so just look for us under that name.
And we need help. If people can join us, follow us, these platforms have so many rules before we can
Yeah.
really activate.
We know. We know.
Right. I mean, you can't. What do we find out? TikTok, we need 1,000
Hmm.
followers to go live on TikTok. For YouTube,
Same thing with
need.
Instagram. You used to
Right.
could just pop up and go live. We tried to do a live event about a month ago on Instagram, and you have to have a
Now
thousand
you have a
followers.
thousand followers.
Yeah,
It's not
to
the
get
same
it.
on Facebook, but
Hmm.
Instagram now has that rule.
Yeah.
And you could do a live on YouTube too. So
Well,
we've
you
done
well, you need
yes.
1,000. You need either 500 or 1,000 on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I think it's 500 or
Mhm.
something now. They've added a rule.
So they've changed it because we did our first live on YouTube. So
Mhm.
now they've changed it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only one you can just go live on, as you said, is Facebook. Anybody
Hmm.
can do live on Facebook.
Yeah.
So the more folks, yeah, we can get to join us. TikTok is our most active. Would you say, Kim, our most active platform is TikTok?
It is
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah.
As we close, I do want to say too that to just keep going and keep telling the story of what this is, because we have so many guests lined up that we are researching and trying to figure out, okay, the right questions, the right words. And I prematurely sent your questions out because having the conversation, and it was a very, very short conversation with Michelle, I assumed it was a dating app. And
Mhm.
then when you sent that email and I was looking at the email, I was like, oh my God, this is such a phenomenal idea. And I text Kamisha and I said, Kamisha, you have got to read this email. I said, because the email tells you what they are versus what they're not. And it was so eye-opening for me. So whatever exposure, however we can help, we are more than willing to help, but get it out there and let them know what you're not and what you are, because this experience, it really excited me. And I'm married. I've been married for 35 years, but this excited me because in my mind, I was thinking app. And when you think dating app, you think of all these other little grimy apps, Grinder and Tinder and all this mess that's out there. And I'm like, I want them to tell me what's different about them, that they can have an app that's any different from it. But then when you sent that email, I'm like, yes, yes.
A lot of people think we're an app. So that's one of the
Hmm.
first things Kim and I
Yeah.
say is we're not an app. And then people say, well, you need an app. It's like, no, 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 no. We don't need this to be an app.
Mm-mm.
No, no,
Mm-mm.
don't. It's not. That's just not where our head is.
Mhm. But like Kim said, we've been doing this a long time. We don't need it to be an app. Y'all need it to be an app.
Yeah.
We were doing this before apps came along, and we were doing just fine. There are people out here who've been together forever who has never even seen a social media
Or a
platform
dating app.
or a
Yeah, they never.
DM or a dating app. It was all organic conversation.
all organic. Met at the
Mhm.
and then it was on and popping, and like
Mhm.
get back to that, So
Mhm. Me and my husband was a blind date
oh,
over the
Oh,
phone.
nice.
oh,
Over the phone.
nice.
And we
Oh.
talked for a week, conversating for a
Mhm.
week, for hours on the phone before we ever laid eyes on each other. So trust me, the emotional connection can happen. You don't need a dating app to do that. You need face to face, heart to heart connection.
Right.
Just connection here.
Yeah, and when you talk about how you can help, what you guys are doing now and giving Kim and me this platform to get the word out, but even in Napa, even in where you are, because I was telling Kamisha while you were away, Denise, so I grew up in DC and Maryland. I went to high school and middle school and elementary school in the area. My son actually lived in Richmond, Virginia for a while. But if you know of any events that Kim and I can be, part of, or at least put the contact person in touch with us, or us in touch with the contact
Yes.
person. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest, aside from this, publicity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll
You guys
definitely
can help.
keep that in
And the
mind.
last thing I'll say, it's funny, Kim and I, we talk about old school a lot, and how can we bring old school? And I was saying to Kim, I said, if we ever start doing events, like when we get really big and we start doing events, we got to have a kissing booth, because I remember old school in the house. In my house, we would have a little kissing booth downstairs in the basement that none of the parents knew. We were down there.
Mhm.
Remember that? Did you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I know. All those like spin the bottle games or those kissing games you used to
Mhm.
have.
Mhm.
Yes, they were so fun.
They were so fun. The DMV just had a huge relationship conference. One of the relationship coach that we interview on our platform, she had a speaking engagement there, and so when we talk to her again, we'll see what type of other events that she knows of, because her whole platform is women over 50 and preparing them to be pursued, preparing them for the expectation, helping them to understand how to heal and not to fall back in the lie of saying, I'm just going to be alone and I'm fine with that, because you're not fine with that. You're not fine with that. So I love it. Thank you guys so much. We truly appreciate this. This has just been so exciting and so enlightening for me. And especially the part about the business card. I'm just so grateful that you were there. I'm never going to let
She's
that
never
go.
gonna let you go. It's never
Never.
gonna
Oh
let
my
that go.
Never.
gosh.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But seriously, thank you. I could see the passion. I could see the excitement. I could see the expectation. I could see that you have wrote the vision and made it plain, and you're expecting big and great things. So I see it. So thank you guys so much. And I'm going to give it over to Kamisha so she can wrap it up and let you guys have some last words.
I'll
Yeah.
send you guys the discount coupon code that we want you to post.
Yes, please email it to me. Yes.
Yes, because we
Mhm.
will make sure we put that on all of our promotion and all of
Mhm.
our platforms and with the
Mhm.
episode and everything.
Mhm.
So
Once people
please do
sign up
that.
for to be a mingler, we give them a 20% discount for their first product order as well.
And I'm actually going to, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to reach out to the relationship coach we were talking about and give this to her, because one of the things that she does is help them to figure out where they can go to meet men, to meet other people. So this would be a great platform too, like, hey, Mahogany Mates, so
Yeah,
another resource.
absolutely.
We love that. We
Yeah,
love that. Thank
that
you.
makes sense too.
Thanks for having us. This has been a lot of fun talking to you guys.
Yes,
That's
thank
great.
And it's rare to meet another Denise. I don't know if you find that, Denise. We don't have a lot of Denises anymore, so this is great.
Nope. 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 Not at all. I love it. I love it.
Well, thank you so much again, Kim and Denise of Mahogany Mates, for joining us here on the Wisdom in Bloom podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are so excited for this new website and community
Yes.
and all the wonderful things, apparel and everything for Mahogany Mates. And we hope that you all are making sure that you are going to visit their website and find out more about their community and participate and engage. I mean, because if you are a woman, as we spoke about before, that is, lonely, or maybe you are interested in finding someone, you got to take a first step. This is a nice step in the direction of what it is that you truly want. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as we always say to our people,
our beautiful listeners,
keep blooming, ladies.
Keep blooming, ladies. Keep blooming.
You guys.
Bye. Take care.